What took place here that was encouraging to you?
The Jews should be voting 70% for Republicans, 30% for Democrats. So that should flip over time, because that's roughly what the percentage is in Israel. And so we in America should approach the 70-30 split between what's called right wing, I just call it normal, versus left wing, which I call abnormal.
Were there highlights of this conference to you in terms of takeaway?
Well, we all have to become more educated. In a democracy, democracies function based on people who are educated, who elect people who can represent them well. So we collectively just had a good education for 700 people who can now go home to their children, grandchildren, to their relatives, to their friends, and be better communicators than they could have been before.
There didn't seem to be a groundswell of support for a Trump re-election at this convention. What was your sense of it?
Well, the Trump issue didn't come up that much because Trump wasn't here. He was here by video, but not here in person. And the speakers really didn't address that sensitive issue of were they pro-Trump, sort of pro-Trump, not pro-Trump. And so it didn't come up as an issue, really. And I think people didn't want it to come up as an issue. Personally, it should have been more of an issue. But again, as the Republicans want to appeal to a broader base of independents, I think there's anxiety by the politicians that if they become too pro-Trump, so to speak, then independents might lose some independence. So it's a political game that's played.
Former Vice President Mike Pence spoke here, and he has been out of the public eye largely and made a strong showing in a way that might have positioned him for a possible primary run for president in 2024. What was your sense of that?
Well, we had a number of potential candidates for president, and of course the biggest issue is President Trump going to run? Mm-hmm. And then the secondary issue is if he doesn't run, who will he anoint or appoint or bless, so to speak? And the two best candidates are Ron DeSantis, who was here, and Mike Pompeo, who was not here. And then there's a whole variety of other candidates who want to have the blessing of Trump or not the blessing of Trump and want to run. So Pompeo would be in that category, along with Nikki Haley would be in that category of people who are on the outs with Trump because they misunderstood January 6th, and they blamed Trump for January 6th when it was really Nancy Pelosi who should be blamed for January 6th. The insurrection was not an insurrection, it was the demonstration, but the chaos that did result was due to the FBI working with the Capitol Police, working with Nancy Pelosi to create chaos and then blame President Trump. So they framed President Trump, but 80% of the people believe that President Trump was involved. They don't believe or understand or know or think that Nancy Pelosi was the key culprit in January 6th.